Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Jewel. I think it's been about a week since I put out a video, but in my last video I said that I was going to come in and start a little series on what to do with all your scraps. So this is a papers, trims, and fabric scrap buster series. Okay, I'm working with this. Let me see, I might have to pull back just a little bit. This is all my trims and fabric scraps, and I actually have two of these. So I'm working with trying to use up some of these things. And I also have, I don't even know if I can get this box into frame. This is just one, whoops, that shouldn't be in there, of several boxes of paper cutoffs, and so I have to use up some of these things. So I started on making some things to use up the stash, but before my trims, I should say, before I get into that, I just want to give a shout out and a thank you to Marilyn Boudoir. Wait, I'm not sure. Bordeaux. Sorry. I believe it's Marilyn Bordeaux, who she's watched and commented. So I just wanted to say thank you, Marilyn, for watching my channel and coming in and taking the time to comment. And also G's Tidbits. So thank you, G. She's been, she's watched some and made some comments, and I appreciate those too. And then I wanted to give a shout out to these two channels. And they have also watched some of my videos and commented, and I really appreciate both of them. And one of the channels is Burlap and Daily Bread, and that's Christy. And then the Book Vandal Shop with Dawn, and both of them got some great content on their channels. So, and with that, today these are going to be very, very simple little projects for you guys. Maybe you've seen these ideas before, but I just sat here, pulled out my scraps, and I'm like, I am just going to use up some of this stuff. So today I'm going to share some tiny tassels, tags, toppers, and tablets. And then if we have time, some of these paper clips and word prompts. And these are all out of my scraps. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you these cute tiny little tassels and some ideas of how to use them. And besides on, on a tiny journal, because they're very small, you can see this one fits in the palm of my hand. So I went in and I pulled out some scraps out of my big jugs there of scraps, and I made these little tassels, and I'll show you. They're very, very simple to make. And I even had this little trim in there, this little bead trim that was thrown in there, and I said, well, I'll pull that out and I'll do that. So these I think would be so cute on packages. For birthdays, you can put them on a card, you can pop them inside a journal because they are small, or put them on, there's a lot of different things you can do with little tassels. They're just adorable, especially for packaging. And then I had this, and this is done with some of my fabric scraps. And then I had this tiny little pom-pom trim cut off piece, so I wrapped that around the top. And I make these tassels so you don't even need any hardware. You just use some ribbon in the top, and I'll show you how to do that. And I tie them on to projects, or you could tie them onto a project or clip them on with the pin. That way, so they can be removable, and you don't have to have any hardware like a lobster claw or a ring or anything like that the way I do these. So there's two. Here's three. You can see that these are just using scraps. So there's a lot of different fabric scraps and cut-offs and things, and I kind of had a little piece of rickrack, if you can see that, and I just came in and I sewed. I just put this right under the machine and sewed it, but you don't have to. I think this one I sewed, this one I just wrapped twine around, and then I think I made one more. I made this one, which is done with some muslin trims and some of the neutral color trims. And I had this little piece of pom-pom trim here, and I came in and I put that around, and then it just can tie on with this strip of muslin. So simply, we're gonna quickly just show you how I did that. We're gonna have a little glare because I didn't want the glare to start. So what I did is I came in and I simply just pulled out scraps, okay? And then I came in and I'm like, okay, here's a longer piece. Let's see if we can match up some colors. Like, here's a blue, and this is actually a good sized piece of trim, but I shove everything in there. So, you know, these are, it's not enough to roll up and put on a, you know, it's the end of the spool. Here's some that would actually match. This one I'm going to put back. Here I've got this came off a package and I just threw that in there. So this is like a satin, I guess. Maybe I should put white paper under this. I don't know. I hope you guys can see this. Now here's a little gray rickrack that was left on the end of the spool. So I'm going to put that over here and I might wrap that around. Now we could probably use, okay, I'm going to cut these down to size. So I'll go with the smallest one. So let me keep trying to find some that will go with that. Here, oh, this is pretty. Well, I have one, but I can... This one's a little bit narrower, so I'm going to put that right there. Okay. This was a fail. A dying fail. Let me see what else I have. Okay, here is a white piece of satin ribbon, so I'm going to put that on there. So I have a blue piece and a white piece. Let me see what else I have in here. Here's a piece of, what do you call this? Organza ribbon. So I'm going to put that there. I'm still looking through my, I don't want to get too much on the desk, looking through my thing and see if I have anything else I could add on that would kind of go. I've got some cording in here. Let me see, how big is this piece? This might go around the top, or I could trim this. This is a little piece of a crocheted trim. That would go with that color palette, so I'm gonna put that aside. So I'm just gonna do this super quick because we're gonna move on to the next project. If this was a little longer, this is probably going to be the tie at the top. So this is a piece of dyed seam binding, and that would blend in that color tone. And let me just see if I have anything else that's long enough. See what else I've got. I'm going through my, here's a scrap of a cotton. That's cute, that's pretty. I'm gonna put that in there because this is gonna be shabby from the looks of this. This is all the shabby looking trim. And I think that's it in this one that I can see. Because I don't want to pull it all out. And let me put some of these trims back. So basically I did that. See, there's a little pearl. Oh, look, there's a little piece of pom-pom. So we're going to use that. All right, let's see what we've got. Now I'm going to come in and quickly cut off. Get the shortest one is this one right here, or it's this one, but this is almost too small, so I'm going to throw that one aside. And so I want them all about this length, and they don't have to be the exact length, you know. So I'm just going to trim that and trim this one. I just realized I'm super crooked, guys. Sorry about that. And this one, and then I have these little pieces, and I will definitely use these. These are going to go on something to embellish little tags or something. Okay, and then let's get this one. Let me just get rid of a couple of these strings. Okay, so then we're going to have this one. And I've got this organza ribbon. Real simple, easy to make. Whoops, let me push some of these scraps aside so they don't get in the way. And then I've got this blue, and I might have enough for 2 of these with this. Oops, this has got to go aside. I think I'm going to put these upside down. I'll show you why in a minute. Because I want, when I fold these over my hand. So if you know how to make a tassel, you can fast forward on this. This is just an idea to use up your scraps. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, whoops, grab these, and I want them so I have the middle. So here's the middle, and actually that ended up upside down, but that's okay. Then I'm going to use, what did I say I wanted to use? Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring in this piece of ribbon, which will be my part today. I'm all fumble fingers here, so if you can just kind of bear with me. All right, so these are in half. So what I've done is I've gathered up mine and I've just folded them in half. Okay, and now this is going to be right here what ties this to the project. Now I can come in and maybe just put a knot on that so it stays. You almost need 3 hands, but I'm just going to do that. So there's my tie. Now I had that cute little piece. You can either take some you know, leftover, like I have this leftover floss, and wrap it around. Right, I usually come down like a 1/2 inch, and that's like the little head of my tassel. And or, you know, I could come in and use this rickrack, but I want to use this because I think this is cute. So I'm just going to wrap this pom-pom around the top. Whoops. And I could take this to the machine now and sew it, or I could just glue this, and I'm probably just going to glue this right here. And then I have my little tassel. So do I want to glue it right now? I think I will. All right. If I can do this and stay in frame. And you can get these tassels even tinier. Like that one I did, I just happened to have these longer pieces in there, and obviously I had done something that was in the blues, one of my journals. This is old, you know, fabric trim. And then from here, if you want, okay, I'll come in and put this right on the machine and sew it, because that's not sticking real good right now. You can come in and you can you know, add a little charm up here. Or look, I have this cute little bead, this little trim. I can come in and hot glue this little pearl trim to it. And then I have a little tassel to add on gifts or on the edge of a little book, and this was out of trims. Now I can see I've got a couple that are a little too long, so I'm just going to trim those off. And then if they kind of pop out like that, you can kind of play with them to get them, you know, to stay. So that's an idea. Now we're going to move on. So we have our tiny tassels. Let me just move all my trim out of the way. Real easy. Let's get this stuff out of the way. Let me see what else we have. Let me put this back down. I think next are my little mini tags. Well, I'm going to move to the toppers next. Okay, now I have, with my cutoffs, I end up with cardstock cutoffs. So what I do is I like to make tassel or toppers for my bags. And let me just grab these. And these are fun, and they look nice in journals too, a topper. Okay, you can see this is a larger topper. So I had used this for packaging for a card at one time, but I came in and I made all these toppers. So these are a couple. But what I did is with my scraps, and these are really cute for the top of bags. Let me just show you something. Here's a cute bag here. Actually, this topper would probably be good for this. What I did is I just took my cardstock, and I don't even really have to go through and show you. You would just fold your cardstock in half. And I did a little scalloped edge here, put a little hole, added a little, what do you call, twine up here. This is baker's twine. And you can do one of two things. You can come in and you can just, you put your gift in there or whatever you want. And, so I'm going to show you the varieties of these I made. You can come in and you can just take a couple of paper clips, or you can, I like to use sticky tape, double-sided stick tape, or you can just glue it to the top of the bag. And it makes a cute little bag topper. So they're also cute on, see, I have all these little bags. Then you can also make your own. Make your own little, and I think I have a video on how to make these. So let me see if I have a smaller topper. And you know, you could put little candies in these, or they're cute to hold your journaling cards or your tags, and they can pop right in one of your journals. Like this one I made. This would be cute on here. But I just put the little prompt yum on there. So just, it's very simple to make. So here's another one, little tag, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with one of these toppers here in a minute. Here's some ones I made for the holiday, and what I did is came in and did a little punch in each corner, and then there's the twine at the top. Here's one in silver, whoops, on the top of one of these. And then these were all, this one, and this one was all off of my cardstock scraps. So, and I think this one I made out of a scrap too. So, very simple to make. This one I came in and did a scrap on a scrap, and I just put two in from. Now, you can buy these little bags. You can make your own. I made a lot of these out of just a type of, you know, different types of tissue paper. This is out of, what you call it, parchment paper, all different sizes. This is out of printed vellum. Okay, very, you know, you can print off your vellum. So I have those. But I found because I like to pop in gifts with my journals, and I always give nice gifts with journals, especially with the bigger orders. I found these Reynolds Kitchen wax paper sandwich bags, and they just look like this. Okay, and I've got a little gift that I've popped in here, a little journal that's actually going to go out with a full-size journal today. And right here, I'll come in, and I think probably what I'll do is I'll write the recipient's name here and here. You can put a little flower on here. You can even take some of your trims. You know, I could come in and I could trim this out. What a pretty bag topper that would be. And, and if you want to make this junk journaling, to gear it toward junk journaling, make yours out of, the glassine bags. Put your little, like this would be cute. Let me see. Got some little bags in here. Put your journaling cards in there and pop this in a pocket, and how cute is that? And so you could do that. Just think outside the box, guys. That's what I try to do. So that is my toppers. So I've got my tiny tags. Let me see what I'm going to do. Tiny tassels. Nope, we got our toppers. Now, another idea. My desk is getting messy here. Is these tiny tablets, okay, with all of your scraps. I'm sure you've seen these. So this is just a very simple one, and all I do is layer the papers up, sew down the middle. I did a little torn off tag here. I came in and put a little stamp there, and then I just stamped it. Now what I did with this, so if you don't have a sewing machine, this I just die cut some of my scrap papers, and you can see I made a front and a back, and then I just punched a little hole and tied some floss on the side here. So we have this little tablet, and these can go in the pockets of your journals for extra writing room. Okay, so that was done with a die cut. This was done with a die cut, or you can do a circle shape or whatever you want. And this one, I just came in, I had some leftover music paper scraps, and I just came in and I did a little paper clip on the top of that one. This one, and I'm just going to show you a very simple way to do this. So let me pull out a few scraps so I can just show you a quick way to do these. Let me see what I have. There's some scraps there. Just trying to find some of the paper scraps here. I'm going through my box. I don't want cardstock scraps. I just want paper. Let me see. Most of this is cardstock in this box. Paper. Some paper. Okay. And that's cardstock. So what I did is, let me grab my pinking shears to make it real simple and fast. I just started folding papers. And this one I'll tear off. This is a piece of a doily. Let me see. And stacking them together. Oh, look how pretty that is. Okay, it's going to be cut down. Okay, and I want a top. So I'm going to just fold this over. And this is going to be the top because it's cardstock. I'm going to cut it down. I would normally do it on my paper cutter, but I have my iPad sitting there, so. All right, and I'm going to plop these right on the inside, just like that. Then I came in and I just simply took my pinking shears and I just came right around. And then I went to the machine, so you see I've got this little tablet, and now you can come in and put a word prompt on that, or decorate it, or make a little pocket there and put a little, you know, a little tag in it. I go right to the machine. I'm going to sew right down that, or you can just hand pamphlet stitch it. And I have another quick little easy tablet to fit in a journaling pocket. So there's that. So I'm going to make a ton of those. All right, so there's what I give you. How many ideas real quick? Tiny tassels, tags, toppers, and tablets, the tiny tags. Okay, well, let me show you my tiny tags. And, okay. Where else are they? I thought I had them somewhere else on the desk. Oh, here's some ready to go. I cut these down. They're about 1 inch by 1 inch, and there's a ton of things, as you know, you can do with your tags. These I had made some time ago, and I put them on a large tag, so there's a tag on a tag, and very simple. Came in, added a stamp, did a little edges on it, put it on my ball pin. It's at the top of this big tag. Okay, this one I came in, added a little fussy trim, did a little stamping, added a big stamp on it, and then I just used a brad to put it on that tag. Here's another one. This has a sticker on it and some stamping and a little bit of fun stuff at the bottom. It's just square. This was just a scrap in my thing. So I came in and rounded the edges of this and popped in, stamped, and said all things grow with love. So you get the idea. So you just sit there and cut your offcuts off. You can round the corners, you can ink them, and then decorate them. Now, to go one step further with these here's a little tag that I made out of some a piece of pink scrap cardstock. And I made a embellished paper clip out of that. So I'll show you very simple how to do that in a minute. Then I added a little belly band, okay, and 2 pieces of crystal, because this was a piece of scrap paper in there. I said, well, that'll go good. Then I had this little scrap. It was an offcut. It came in and I just folded it like a little book. This is a piece of vintage graph paper. I just came in and I did some scalloped edge. So this is now an embellished paper clip out of my scraps. This in the middle was a piece of scrap lace. So what I would do here is take my tag, add my paper clip, and I like the big one in the back. So this would be the inside. These, I would add a piece of trim. Let me see. Let me see what I've got over here. Okay, let's take this. I cut this off. Now, this, I wouldn't do this craft cardstock, but I could add this right here. All right, glue this here together. Okay, I'm not going to do it right now. Trim this off, and then I've got a tag to decorate. So a little mini tag. So that's how you make those. So very simple. So a little belly band paper clip, move around. Here's one that I haven't finished embellishing yet, and this is just, whoops, it's sticking. This has a prompt in it. Whoops, I did a little stick. So this says dream on the inside, and this is a little embellished paper clip. I added the little lace on the inside. So these are great to pop into journals. Here I actually made a tiny tag, but I did make it into a paper clip as well. I just punched the hole and put a small eyelet and some trim at the top. And then this is a cute little, all these little bits. I just took my scalloped punch, this one, or you can just a circle punch. I'll show you some of my circle punches. And I made a mini embellished paper clip. And now this one, as you can see, I have pattern on both sides. Then I had this little dangle, and this was something from another project that I tore apart. I just came in, added it on a ball pin, but I put the paper clip in this way so it could go on the edge of a page this way. And then you have your little dangle. So if you can see that. So there's that. Okay, let me show you a couple more ideas. Here are, these are little mini paper clips I made out of a circle punch, out of just cardstock scraps. Okay, now this and then I went to my scrap bin of fabrics, and here's a piece of fabric here, here's a little piece of ribbon. I just added that little bit of bling there and put the word journal, so now I have a little embellished paper clip journal prompt there. And here's one, it says create. These are all my scraps. This one says inspire, and I just did add a little bling there. Then you can also make little journaling prompts and have them all ready to pop into a journal. These are you know, ready to just glue down on a page or to glue down on a pocket, you know, on your journal. Let's say, do I have a pocket here? Let's say this would be your pocket to your journal. A little pocket. Just glue this, you know, right down, and you have a little journaling prompt. So this was a piece of cardstock. I came in and I did some you know, the pinking shears around the outside, put a little prompt there. So your prompts are ready. This says morning. This can go in somewhere on a page. This says today. So I just used a little piece of burlap, and I used these stickers and I glued it down. This was from the dollar store. These prompts I went and I print up on cardstock. I just type them out and print them up. Here's some, and then I just cut them out. These are the tiny words. So, and that's how I do that. So for today, there's some ideas for scraps. So as we continue the Scrap Buster series, I'm going to come back and I'm going to give you some tips on collaging full envelopes and collaging full papers, and how you can do paper and fabric and trim all on the same paper, where it's a nice smooth look. It's not going to be clusters. It's going to be different. So I'll be back to show you that. So I hope you guys are going to enjoy this series. All right, talk to you soon. And please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And if you could share this with your crafty friends, I sure would appreciate it. Okay, have a blessed day. Bye-bye.